Hello and welcome to episode 40 of the Made by Me podcast. My name is Catherine and normally I'm filming in Germany where I live, but today I'm filming from Wales, from my parents' house. So a little bit different today. This is my mum's workroom, but yes, welcome. A huge welcome to you if you're new here, and a very warm welcome back if you've been here before. And this is my little corner of the internet to talk about all things yarny, any projects I'm working on, test knits, that kind of thing. And today I've only got two projects to show you, one finished object, but I'm afraid that because I'm kind of on holiday, I did go and do a little bit of yarn shopping, just a little bit, not too much, nothing extravagant. So yeah, I've got lots to show you today. But you can find me in all the usual places on Instagram, but I'm most active here on YouTube and a little bit on Instagram. I also put chapters in so that you can skip through any bits that you're not interested in, and I also put notes and links down below for all the things that I talk about. So if you have any questions, just give me a shout, or you want to say hi, please comment down below. I do answer all the comments at some point. In fact, I think I've got a few to answer on the last one. Never mind, I'll get to it after this. I've been really busy the last couple of weeks because my partner and I drove back here to the UK to spend some time with family. So you will have seen a little bit of footage right at the beginning of a canal boat. So my brother lives on a narrow boat in the Midlands. We went to stay with him, and we also went to see my other sister, and we've seen my brother and my my granddad, uncles, and yeah. So yeah, it's been a really busy couple of weeks. So not a lot of knitting done, but lots of fun. So yeah, let's get going with what I am wearing. And today I am wearing stolen knitwear. This is not mine. But it's so gorgeous, and I have knitwear goals for this. My mum made this years ago, goodness knows when. I'm sure she's got notes somewhere, but bless her, she's not the best at keeping notes on Ravelry. So it's usually in some little notebook somewhere. She keeps all these notebooks of all of her projects. I wish I was that organised, but yeah. So I put a link to the pattern down below. This is the Like a Cloud by Hoki Locatelli. And it is this delightful all over textured cardigan. In fact, I'll stand up so you can see it. It's beautiful. It's a really loose, relaxed cardigan. It's really pretty. If I can get back on this chair without falling off it. There we go. And my mum has made this in Isaga Alpaca 2, held with Isaga Silk Mohair. And it's just so light and fluffy and gorgeous, and this has been on my queue forever. And to be honest with you, I've been knitting since I was a really small child, but only like really seriously knitting in the last 5-6 years or so. But when I saw that my mum had made this, I just really wanted to pick up the needles again and really get back into knitting properly. So yeah, I will make one of these at some point. It's beautiful. I love it, and I've stolen it temporarily. I will give it back. So yes, this is the Hoki Locatelli Like a Cloud. It comes in 9 sizes. It's the pattern is for a light fingering weight held with a mohair. So anything that fits that weight would work. It's designed to have loads of positive ease. So, gosh, the sun's really coming out now. We had so much rain last night, it was keeping me awake, but today the sun is shining. What was I saying? Yeah, so this is designed to have loads of positive ease, so it's a really loose and comfortable cardigan to wear. And I think that for my bust size, which is about 120 centimetres, 48 inches, I think there's probably about 15 centimetres of positive ease there, which is really nice and comfortable. It's knit on 3.5mm. I believe it's bottom up, and yeah, it's just a really pretty cardigan, and definitely one that I'm going to do in the future at some point. So yeah, that's what I'm wearing. The next thing I have to talk to you about is something that I've knitted for myself, and this is a test knit that I've just finished for knitting for breakfast, and here it is. It is an absolutely gorgeous, light and airy tea. This is the Enjoy Flowers tea from Knitting for Breakfast, and it will be coming out really soon. So this is a test knit. It is made with 2 strands of mohair held together throughout, and it is just a delight. It's so light and fluffy. In fact, there's a little bit of sort of a theme going on here with light and fluffiness. So yeah, this is a round yoke construction. You start off with a little twisted rib, you do some short rows, and then you hold together C1 held double, but I didn't actually do that. I used this indie dyed silk mohair from a little dyer on the Dutch coast, and I wasn't sure that I was going to have enough. As you can see, I would have had plenty. So I actually held it with this for the first part of the yoke, which is why this part of the yoke is a different colour from these flowers here. But I think, to be honest with you, I was going to talk about adapting this pattern in a bit. I think this is a really, really interesting possibility for using up bits of scrap mohair. As long as you can keep sort of your light and your dark separate, so you always, C1 is always light and C2 is always dark, I think this would be a really, really good use for leftover mohair. Anyway, so as I was saying, you have a little twisted rib, followed by a round yoke where you work your increases and start the motifs. And as I said, you're always holding together 2 strands of mohair. So to start off with, it's 2 strands of light, then the first motif in 2 strands of dark, and then it switches over. And then after splitting for the sleeves, you hold together 1 strand of the light and 1 strand of the dark. And as you can see, because I use this variegated mohair, it's given this beautiful effect. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's not such a great light in here actually, with the light behind me like that, so you can probably see it better in the photographs. But yeah, I'm really, really happy with this. It's a really size inclusive pattern. I think that it would be super versatile on the type of yarn that you use as well. So lots of the testers have used mohair, obviously. Many of them have used drops mohair, and that they look beautiful. And the other thing that I would advise if you are looking at this pattern is to choose sort of 2 toning colours, and that's what most of the testers have gone for, and it looks gorgeous. So 2 things from a blue colour palette or from, you know, pink or whatever, and it just gives that really, really subtle colour change, unless you want to experiment with using up some scrap yarn. Quite a few of the testers have also made this in non-mohair variants as well, in the fingering weight yarn. I think one person made it in a sort of a cotton viscose blend as well, so there are many different possibilities. Some people have also made a long sleeve version as well, and they just look gorgeous. It should be released, I think the test knit deadline was something like the 15th of September for this project, so I imagine it will be released pretty quickly after that. So yeah, have a look on Instagram for some of the other projects, because they are really beautiful. I'll turn it inside so that you can see my floats. There we go. There's only a couple of rows where you have to pick up floats, so it's fairly beginner friendly, although I would say that the yarn management with mohair is tricky. Well, not tricky, it's just you've got lots of little bits of yarn everywhere that you've got to look after because it's being held double throughout. Also, mohair, most mohairs, in my opinion anyway, have very little stretch to them, so you just need to make sure that you've got a really good tension throughout, and that you gauge swatch to make sure that it's the right size, because yeah, there's not a lot of stretch in it. So if it's a bit too small, you're a bit stuck. But yeah, this is my Enjoy Flowers tea. What else can I say about this? Nothing really, just that it's a really lovely pattern. It is charted, and there's a really good schematic in the pattern as well. This is the second time that I've test knit for Knitting for Breakfast, and yeah, it's they make really, really nice patterns, very pretty, very delicate, often quite floral, and yeah, so that is my one and only finished object to show you today. I should have also mentioned it's knit on 4.5mm needles, which is a US 7, so that gives it a nice open gauge as well, and yeah, it's a gorgeous pattern. Okay, the next thing to show you is another test knit. I'll just get myself a bit organised here. I'm surrounded by knitting. It's always strange, isn't it, when you're doing something in somebody else's space. But yeah, I have to show you this little notions pouch I've been using in this project. With little puffins on it. I don't think it was sold as a notions pouch. I think I got it from Etsy, and I think it's supposed to be a coin purse. But it was too cute with the little puffins. If I can remember where I got it from, I'll put the details down below, but it was a long time ago. Okay, the next pattern that I am doing is the Kiruna Cardigan, there it is, from Ellis Knitwear. So I'm knitting the 4th size in this. It's quite a big complicated pattern with lots of charts. It's all over colour work. In fact, I'll put some pictures up so you can see a little preview of what it will look like. MJ, the designer behind Ellis Knitwear, she is sending out the pattern in stages. So the test knitters receive the first part of the pattern, which includes the first part of the body. So it's knit bottom up and it's steeked up to the armholes, I think this pattern is, with the charts for that. And then once we finish that part, she'll release the second part of the pattern to us. It's also split by sizes, I think just because of the number of charts that are involved. So I've got the pattern from size 1 to 5, but I think there's also a 6 to 9 as well. But I will double check on that with MJ. So yeah, I'll show you what I've done so far. It's not very impressive, I'm afraid. I have made a lot of rib. And there we go. Oh no, it's all twisted up. Should have got myself a bit more organised before doing this, shouldn't I? Never mind. Okay, so I'm knitting the rib section of this, and that is what I've done so far. So you start bottom up. MJ didn't specify the type of cast on, but I've done an alternating cable cast on, just so I can get a little bit of a sort of rib effect in the cast on before going up. Also, the alternating cable cast on is fairly stretchy. So I thought that would be a really good choice. So yeah, that's all I've done so far, but I'm knitting the 4th size. So that includes a bust circumference of up to 135 centimetres. So it's, you know, it's a fairly long bit of ribbing, but I've just started getting into the colour work, as you can see. I'm afraid I've already ripped out my swatch and put it into here because I don't think I'll be playing yarn chicken, but I definitely need to be careful with my yarn management for this to make sure that I've got enough, because I can't get any more of either of these yarns. These are both really special yarns to me. The main colour, the dark brown, is from Woolen Twine, and it's a Shetland Welsh Mountain blend from Woolen Twine, and it's kind of like a natural black. I know it's really dark brown, but it's the closest you can get to black without it being dyed. And this is a DK weight yarn, and I'm holding this with the contrast colour, which is from Nellie and Eve. And again, Nellie and Eve, this is small batch yarn that's made, you know, with plant dyes. So once this is gone, it's gone. Even though she will probably dye this colour again, it will never be the same again. So yeah. So I'm really hoping that I have enough. But this is actually a 4-ply or a fingering weight yarn. So I'm holding this double, so I'm doing a centre pull with the outside. And I think they're playing together really nicely. And I'm really looking forward to getting really properly stuck into this knit. I mean, as you can see, so find a good bit of colour work to show you. There you go. You can see that the contrast is fantastic. And once that's blocked, it's really going to come into its own. If you saw my last episode, you will have seen the little gauge swatch that I did, and it's just gorgeous. It just reminds me of like strawberry flavoured chocolate or something. It's just, it's gorgeous. I know it's not really a traditional colour palette when you're doing sort of a Scandinavian style or inspired pattern, but I really wanted to use some of this special yarn, and it needed to be woolly wool because it's a steek. So here's my little steek bridge. Now, I have never done a steek before, so if you have and you have any advice, please do give me a shout. So to start off with, on the first few rows, I was alternating the two different colours to sort of smush them in a little bit. But what I think I'll do from this point onwards is make one line of the contrast colour going up the middle, just so I can see where I need to cut. If you have any thoughts on that, or you have any advice on how to do that, please do give me a shout, because I'd love to hear about it. Because as I said, this is my first steek and I hope it goes okay, because this, yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's nice woolly wool, and if worst comes to worst, I can felt it a little bit to make it stick. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll work out okay. So the deadline for this pattern isn't until, I think it's mid-November, so this is going to be a long one. But yeah, other than that, I don't have any other projects on the needles that I'm actively working on, apart from my Yeye blanket that I showed you last time. So yeah, the only other thing I have on the needles is my Yeye blanket, which I'm not really going to show you because nothing's really changed since last time. I am plodding away, knitting little hexagons, as you can see. Nothing particularly exciting here. So I've got all of these different West Yorkshire Spinners signature, most of them are sparkle, left over from sock projects, because I tend to buy, or my mum and I tend to buy the West Yorkshire Spinners signature sparkle colourway that they release every year for Christmas. So I've got loads of leftovers of it, so I'm just getting through it. And I thought I'd make loads of little hexagons and make myself a little festive blanket. So yeah, I'm just plodding along with that quietly. It's not the best car knitting because you actually do need to concentrate, because each hexagon is knitted individually from the outside. If I show you one in progress. There we go. If I show you one in progress. Because it's knitted from the outside in, there's actually quite a lot of concentration required and decreases. So it's not the best mindless knitting, I will say, but it's nice to just sit down quietly in the evenings and do a little hexagon with a little stitch marker there marking where my decrease round begins each time. But yeah, that's what I'm working on. But the reason I wanted to show you this is because if you saw my last episode, you'll know that I was saying that I don't have a large Christmassy blankets bag or project bag free. So look what my mum made me. Isn't that awesome? She picked up some new Liberties fabric and she made me a no-waste bag. I know very little about sew. I do sew, but my mum's a quilter. This is her quilting room. You can see all of her stuff and yeah, sewing machines and whatnot here. So this is, she tells me, a no-waste bag because it uses the entirety of 2 fat quarters plus the lining. So it's all beautifully lined. Unfortunately, she does not make these bags to sell. She doesn't put them on Etsy or anything. She just really kindly every now and again makes us some project bags. How gorgeous is that? I am so lucky. She also made me a little bonus handbag sock project bag out of this. I think this is Liberty fabric as well. Little drawstring, so it'll fit in my bag. Oh, it's gorgeous. She is such a sweetie. She really is. I mean, this is deliberately really thin and unlined so that when you're carrying a little sock project around in your bag, it just doesn't take up any space or any weight. So it's just like a little, I call it a DAP bag, you know, where you carry your gym shoes to school in a little DAP bag, but for knitting instead, which is far more exciting than gym shoes. So yeah, she's amazing. She made those for me. Oh, it's so gorgeous. So my Christmas blanket project is living in here with a nice zip. And so yeah, that is my first, well, acquisition. It's not really an irresponsible purchase because I didn't buy it, but yeah, Next we have quite a few irresponsible purchases. Next is Irresponsible Purchases. I've had the opportunity to visit 2 yarn shops while I've been here. The first of which is a new to me yarn shop in the old arcades in Cardiff. There's such pretty, beautiful streets. If you get the opportunity to go to Cardiff, you should definitely have a wander around the arcades. They're these beautiful Victorian kind of covered shopping streets. Underneath the ground, there are old medieval streets down there, and so they're really, really old, but the bit that you can see is, I think, Victorian. But anyway, new yarn shop there, so there's a little tour of that at the end of this episode. And then I also went to the Croft in Abergavenny that I've been to many times before. I suppose it's kind of like the local craft shop for my mum here. So yeah, there's a little tour of that at the end as well. So I will take you through what I chose while I was in those places. So firstly, another project bag. It is, I'm not sure on the brand of this. I think it's kind of like a generic one that you would get in Hobbycraft or something like that. But I love the fabric. It was really cute and it's really light. And it reminds me of an old knitting bag that my grandmother had. And I think it might have been my grandmother's first and then it went to my mum and then I had it, or I'm not sure where it originally came from. I think my parents used to use it as a changing bag to keep nappies and stuff in when I was little, and for all my brothers and sisters, because I'm the eldest of 5, so it probably got a lot of use. But anyway, I just really, really like this little bag. It's got a nice long zip pocket along one side, it's got a zip along the top. I can definitely fit a good size sweater project in here. But right now it is holding ill-gotten gains. The first of which is, what should we start with? Oh, well, as I was talking about it earlier, let's start with that. So this is the 2025 new West Yorkshire Spinners Signature Sparkle colourway. And this year it's a colour called Mulled Wine, and it's going to knit up like that. Gorgeous. I do love these yarns. They're really hard wearing. They're always really fun colours, and I do love the little bit of a sparkle in it every now and again. Especially why not? If it's festive, why not? So I've got that, and I also picked this up in Cardiff. This is a plain signature 4-ply. So the mix of these is, it's a 400 metre ball, which is 100 grams, so it's just a bog standard fingering weight, and it's 75% wool, 25% nylon, and I think it's a British wool blend. And this one, yeah, they contain 35% BFL, so I thought that would be a cute combo. As I said, this is Mulled Wine. This colourway is Rouge, so 1000. It's probably a little bit bright. I must admit, I did originally pick this one up to use in my scrappy blanket because I was thinking this would be perfect to make an I-cord edge around it. But the project is young. We will see. Maybe I'll do something completely different. But yeah, 2 West Yorkshire Spinners. So when I come back to the UK, I tend to try and get things that are more difficult to get hold of in Germany or a little bit more expensive. And West Yorkshire Spinners is definitely one of those. This is just a standard big box sock yarn, but I really do like this brand. But there are loads of other brands that do something similar. But yeah, this is just one of my favourites. You can get it in Germany, it's just a little bit more expensive. I apologise for the crackling. Ooh, sorry, there's a plastic bag. Tip that out, that's probably better. Right, the next thing that I got is, I've got this one in Abergavenny. More West Yorkshire Spinners. And this is Solstice. I just fell in love with this colour. It's that beautiful, like heathered, with a few different tones in there. This colourway is called Nectar 1252, and it's a 4-ply, 400 metres for 100 grams, so the same as the other one. It would play nicely with this too. Interesting. Hey, that goes together nicely. Hey, what if I didn't make a pair of socks with this year? What if I made a colourwork festive jumper? Anywho, excuse me. Well, that's put the cat amongst the pigeons, hasn't it? I'll have to have a think about that, because that does look gorgeous together. What do you think? Do you have an idea for a nice 4-ply festive themed jumper that I could make with this? Or maybe even autumn themed. Oh dear, never mind. Right, anyway, this is 70% Falkland wool, a 20% lyocell and 10% cashmere. So it's super soft and lustrous. It's going to make a gorgeous pullover. And I have 4 skeins of this, so 1600 metres. That will make a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous pullover. Yeah, I went to the shop in Abergavenny looking for more West Yorkshire spinners, preferably in a cream. I've been unable to find the milk bottle colour anywhere. It seems to be sold out everywhere. If you know of somewhere that has West Yorkshire spinners milk bottle colourway, please do let me know, because I would like some. Because in my blanket, it's going to be very, very colourful, so I wanted to try and to mellow it out a little bit by including lots of plain creamish coloured hexagons. It's not the end of the world. I don't intend to finish this this blanket this year, but I would like some. So if anybody knows anything about that, please do let me know. Yeah, so that's that. I picked that up. It's just really, really nice. And I know that it's going to wash well because it's West Yorkshire spinners, so it's a good, hard-working yarn. Oh, also with the mulled wine colourway came this free sock pattern, and this pattern appears to be called Nutmeg. So it looks like a little lace pattern. I don't think this is charted. I think it's all yeah, it's all written out. So I've got to be honest, I'm not sure that I'm going to use the pattern, but it's just nice to have anyway. So yeah, that is the sock pattern that comes with it. It does look cute. I don't know. I'll see how I feel. And oh yeah, there's another cool picture in here as well. This is all of the different colourways they've done over the years. For all their different signature sparkle. They sometimes do 2 versions in one year, where there's a sparkly version and a non-sparkly version. But I always go for the sparkly one, because why not? When else can you do it if not at Christmas? What else did I pick up? I also picked up this really super cute little tin with little puffins on it. Why not? I love puffins. I also picked up 2 skeins of Glan Cambrian wool. So this is Welsh wool. It's 100% Welsh wool from the Cambrian Mountains, and it's processed here in Wales as well. And this is the natural colourway. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I have it in my mind that I might make a litmus cowl, and I was thinking of maybe including some of this in that, because it's really soft. I don't know if you can see that. It's not got a tight spin at all. It's super soft. So I was thinking this might be really nice to have around my neck. So yeah, maybe a litmus cowl, something like that. I'm not sure yet, but this will sit quietly in my stash until it's needed. And because it's a 4-ply weight, it is 50 grams is 150 meters. Oh, that's not 4-ply, is it? It's a sport weight. So that might be really handy to have tucked away in my stash in case I need it for some colour work or something. So yeah, really, really cute yarn. My mum has made a couple of jumpers out of this and they look amazing. She made the Darla sweater from Eleanor Mortensen in a sort of an icy turquoise blue with this colour, I think, actually, as the contrast colour. And it looked absolutely gorgeous. If you go and have a look at her Instagram, if I remember, I will link it down below. I think she's put a picture of it on there. But yeah, that's really, really nice. I've been meaning to get some of this for a while, but not had the right project to buy something with. The last thing to show you is, and I'm sorry for the crackling, 1 second. The last thing to show you are some stitch markers. So when I was in Abergavenny, I saw these little stitch markers, little cats, and little sheep. Oh, it won't focus. Come on, focus. There we go. Little sheep. And the last one, little fruits. So cute. They're just adorable. I couldn't walk away from them. They were too cute. You can't buy these online, unfortunately. I do have a second one of the fruit as well. These are made by a lovely lady who goes to the knit night at the Croft. Her name is Carol, and they're just available in the shop. But I'm sure if you called the shop, they would put some to one side for you or whatever. But yeah, they had them in so many different iterations. They're just gorgeous. You'll see a little bit of footage of them in the at the end there. They're just so adorable. I couldn't walk away from them. And because at the moment I'm running a MAL, so it's the MBM Thrifty MAL 25, and there are 3 prizes available. I thought these would be perfect as part of the prize packages. So the purpose of the MAL is just to use our stash. Pick up old projects. It doesn't even need to be knitting, it can be crochet or any other craft that you want. You can enter via Ravelry, via Instagram, or just by emailing me your entry. All of the details on how to enter are down below in the notes. The closing date I think is the 30th of September, I think I said. So there's still another few weeks to enter. It doesn't have to be a finished object if you want to enter. It can be anything that you want. As long as you're using up stash, you're finishing old projects, you're spending as little money as possible, using gifted yarn, gifted whatever it is. Have a look at the details anyway, because I'm rambling. And there are 3 prize bundles available, all of which will contain a different local to me yarn. If you go back couple of episodes, I did a little summary of what they are, but I'll go through them again in the next episode. And now some stitch markers as well. There's little goodies to go in those prize bundles. So yeah, it's going to be really cool. And I will be good, and I will only keep 1 set, but it's very, very tempting because they're all so gorgeous. I love the little fruit, the little bit of watermelon. It's just adorable. It's just too cute. Who doesn't want a little watermelon stitch marker? I love it. So yeah, I think that is about it for today. I don't think I've got anything else to show you. Yeah, I've limited on the number of projects that I brought with me on our trip. So I haven't got so many projects to talk about, but I think I made up for it with all of the other nonsense. Yeah, so please do enjoy a short bit of footage. Firstly, a tour of a yarn shop in Cardiff, and then one in Abergavenny, and then just a little walk around the fields around this house right at the end. So yeah, I hope you're having a really, really lovely day, and thank you so much for joining me for however long this episode is. And I really look forward to seeing you again in a couple of weeks. Take care. Bye.